You are now audible.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, I need
Hello.
to...
Oh, sorry. I just yawned real big just now.
That's okay. You're not yet visible.
Oh,
minute.
that's so good. I was like, hello.
All right. My darling, you are now in view, kind of.
Wait, the meme that was Honey's face was so funny.
Have you seen
Yeah.
Mero's meme?
What
So
meme?
yeah, so if you don't see Meru's camera, you see this.
Oh, so good.
I have a contingency plan for everyone, which turns out to be very useful because sometimes people show up to the call late.
Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be
Oh,
you,
no.
huh?
Not me.
Couldn't be you.
Not
no.
That's
the
me, that was me,
Cassie
guys.
face.
Anyway, hi everyone. I'm so sorry for the internet troubles at the beginning. I'm just happy that they're out of the way. Hi, we're D&Ding, and thank you very much for the level 3 hype train. That was bonkers. And Bunny,
Pop off.
how dare you? I'm going to get those dice as soon as I can. How dare you? Hashtag blame time zones, honestly.
Yes.
So, anyway.
It's the time zones,
hi.
man. We're in the worst time zones ever. All
Yeah,
of us.
so we have Europe, and then we have 3 Americas, and then we have 1 darling Australian. So for me, at the moment, it's 20 past 8 p.m. What time is it for my Americans?
2:18, baby.
2:18. Woo!
Yep. 20 past 2 p.m. And what time is it for the dear Honey May?
6:18.
6
And I was
a.m.
meant to have woken up an hour ago, which I did, but I didn't stay awake.
It happens.
That was great.
It happens.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Australia.
On top
It's
of
the hardest
the
thing,
fact,
okay?
yeah, on top of the fact that we're all from different time zones, it's also D&D and planning sessions like this. That's the only thing that's affecting us. We would be like the perfect like D&D dynamic if we all lived in the same time zone. Just saying. We could do like weekly sessions if that was the case, but
If we
Yes.
were in the same time zone near each other, you would never see us. Like we would just be hanging out IRL all the time. Like I would
yeah.
streaming who? Like we'd have just a weekly D&D sesh 24/7, you know? Just 7 days a week, as much D&D as possible.
I love that.
I mean, honestly, I want to be playing more D&D. Like, I need to get my little goblin hands on like a group that I can play with, like on a regular basis. Like, not that y'all aren't regular. I just
Yeah.
don't want to hog up all your time, you know?
You can hog up my time anytime you want, my
Oh,
dear
I'll hog
wife.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Hog
We have-
please.
We have
Even if you
started.
do have people near you,
Hold
it's
me,
impossible
I
to
heard.
schedule.
True, very true.
Oh, I bet.
I have a regular D&D group. I don't think I've seen them in like a month and a half.
Oh, the sad reality. That's so sad.
That's just D&D in general. All right, now
Yeah.
I have with me 4 beautiful people, and they are over here. We have top left is Honey May. You may know her as my wife. You may not know her as my wife. In that case, what?
Very
Weird.
confused.
Bit weird, but okay. Top right, we have Merudesu, also known as my wife. Very lovely. Then bottom left, we have Ilaria. Can we hear you?
Hello, I'm waving my hands in spirit.
Jazz hands! We need to give your P&D to a jazz hands.
I know. Yee,
And
hands.
bottom right, we have Cass Plays, our DM for the day and
What?
most of the campaign.
Oh, DM.
DM appreciation.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I'm the DM. It's true.
It is true. It is known. Now, I was going to showcase some fun clips from last time. However, with the internet troubles and all that, I'll just say Kitty Quisitor, Candle Waster Grey, Pretty Happy Bunny. Thank you very much for the amazing clips. If anyone wants to look them up, the best, as voted by us, best clips from last session were "The Plan is Yeet," or just absolute amazing timing from Kitty Quisitor. You get a free wheel spin from me whenever you appear in chat. Not today though. Candle Waster Grey, just two homies and nuts because of the incredibly perfectly cut nut. And Pretty Happy Bunny for captivating Meru, Honey, and her wonderful reactions
Oh my god.
getting hit by too many dice. So yeah.
All the time.
It will happen again.
I was so unfairly targeted. But you know what? At least I was the one targeted.
You
because I
have the
like,
most
92
amount of hit points.
so-
Let's be real.
Yeah,
I know, but
I'm
it
gonna
still
lovingly tell you
sucks.
this. I'm gonna lovingly tell you this now. I will target you most of the time, as you have almost
that's
double
fine.
the hit points of every other person.
You are
I
the
know
tank.
I'm a tank. I make myself that way, but it's still offensive, when I'm being a tank and I'm doing tank duties.
How
But yeah,
dare
no,
they
it's
make you
so
do your
funny.
job?
How dare they?
Dare.
It's okay. I'll just wave my cape in awe.
Oh, you know what? Actually, Miss DM, I was looking over my character sheet. I'm so much better prepared this time. But then I also put in another potion of healing into my bag, and I called it yummy nut juice. So I'm prepared. I'm actually
Not the
prepared
yummy
for real,
nut
for real.
juice.
I'm really excited.
Yummy nut juice.
Your
You
yummy
wish-
nut juice.
You wish you had that, Manaaki. Alright.
He's manifesting it. He's manifesting it.
All right.
Understood.
Let's think. Do we have anything that we need to say before we get started? I think same thing happens as last time. We got the rule of cool. Don't backseat. Don't be rude. Alerts are off because otherwise we're going to get distracted. Yeah. Top 3 clips today as well. Get a free wheel spin from me. And I hope y'all enjoy. The players themselves won't be interacting with chat much, but we have the mods and we have chat, and y'all can keep yourselves entertained. We hope. I mean, I sure hope so. We're here. If it's not entertaining, then that's
We
on
better
me.
be entertaining you.
So yeah, I'm gonna go through the introductions just very quickly for our characters. We're gonna start with Cass, and then we'll just have each of us shortly introducing ourselves and our characters, and then we're gonna get into it because I don't want Cass's hard preparation to be for naught. Are you not entertained?
We are entertained.
You better. All right, moving on. Cass, you will be big screen.
Oh, perfect. Cool. Well, hi. I am Cass Plays. I have been a DM for 5 to 6-ish years. I love being a DM. It is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. I've been a DM for 1.5 years. I've been playing D&D for 6 years. But I love being a DM. I love that we are now kind of turning this, what was a one-shot, into something a little bit longer term. And I'm just really happy that I get to do this and be a DM and play with such amazing people. And yeah, I'm just excited to tell a good story today. So yeah, that's all I got.
And we're excited to be told. Where can people find you, Cass?
Oh yeah, twitch.tv/Cass Plays. There's 2 S's on the end of plays. Don't forget the second S.
And also in Cass.
And in Cass too. I also have a TikTok that's Cass Plays as well, but that's going away apparently in the United States. So
Yeah, rip
Don't
to
get
y'all.
started on that.
that's me. Thanks,
Yay.
Lonnie.
Hell yeah. Then there's me. You can find me at twitch.tv/Lona Oakenshield, I guess, if you want to do that kind of thing.
Pop off.
Pop off, queen. So I'm not DMing today. I'm DMing the next session. But today I am playing my boy Boston. He's my half-elf warlock himbo. I love him. And yeah. I love me some BG3. I love me some Dragon Age. You may have noticed maybe there's like some 11-hour streams on the channel this week. Don't worry about it. And yeah. My boy.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's only 11 hours. And yeah, so if you want more information about our characters, you can do ! and then like their name, which you'll be able to see in a second. Lei, your character, and you are up next.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I can start with me. I'm Lei or Laria, whichever one. I don't have any official D&D experience, but I have done the past campaign, and that made me a lot more comfortable with the concept, and I love it a lot. Something I definitely want to do more of. And my little guy is Poe. He's a little poetry fanatic, and yes, the reference is Edgar Allan Poe, so it's a little bit, like the Raven, ha ha ha, funny. He's a Kenku. Sorry, he's a Kenku who might steal your books. And that's all you really need to know. And you can find me at https://twitch.tv/Alaria_. Don't forget the underscore. That's it for me.
All right. Hell yeah. We love ourselves some burbs. I feel like Megs is really relating to Poe right now. She loves books. All right, Meru,
yes.
you're up next.
I'm Meru. What about me? My character's name is Althea. She's a cutie patootie little elf. And you can find me at twitch.tv/Meredith. I play a lot of retro variety games, although I'm only playing one right now, Baldur's Gate 1. But yeah, I'm so tired.
Well, in that case, I have good news for you because alongside you being tired is Honey.
Also very tired.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
tired. Hi,
I'm
tired.
tired. You can find me at twitch.tv /tired_May_. No, let's just swap out with the Honey. This is Manaaki. He's really cool, and he's just kind of he's just a cool guy. He's a champion fighter, and that's all he is. Yep, that's all he is. Anyways, can't
loves
wait
to
to
nut.
do this next session. He loves nuts. Oh my god, he loved
Ugh.
to share his nut with the big man, Boston. Yes.
Oh.
But yeah, he's just there is look. He's just a very simple guy. There's not too much to him, but he's very reliable and very strong. Okay, that's it. This
Yes.
is also the dating profile for him, for Boston to listen in on right now. So yeah, pay attention, Lonnie.
Concentration gone, thinking of boobs.
Yeah.
All right, here we are. Hint, hint, only dropping subtle hints, of course. Only the subtlest of hints. All right, we're in the big
Cool.
screen now, my darlings. Yeah, I'm gonna give the reins to Cass, and we're here for the vibes.
Sweet. I think first we'll kind of just do like a bit of a recap for everyone who wasn't here last time. So last time we started off with our group in Baldur's Gate. They had just finished helping some, I think it was goblins or some bandits who were trying to steal some shipments that were going to Baldur's Gate. They saved those shipments. Turns out those shipments were being used for a celebration that was happening in Baldur's Gate that they all attended. On the day of that celebration, there was something wrong that happened in the opening ceremony, that there were some fey creatures let loose in the city. Our heroes, I guess. I don't know. You guys heroes.
Try to be.
I love that.
Obviously.
They kind of fought off those creatures, and they entered a bit of a portal into a part of the Feywild. They made their way across a frozen lake in just the best way possible. You have to watch it, I think, to really understand how incredible it was. I think there's always ways to watch our past ones as well. But they did a bit of Kenku curling, just sliding across the ice to get over that lake. Made it to the house, the cottage that was in the middle.
With 2 hit points.
Yep, exactly. And then they fought a hag, a Burr hag, I think they were called. And they fought off that hag. Turns out that hag had taken hostage Boston's Archfey patron, the Warden. When she was freed after they had defeated the hag, she said, "I owe you a debt of gratitude. And unless I missed anything, we'll kind of pick up perfect from there." So we begin today's session with our group sitting around a gorgeous cedar table. A fire crackles in the elaborately carved stone fireplace that sits nearby. The room is filled with magical artifacts displayed in cases and potted plants that seem to have come from across the plains. The table sits the group perfectly. There's perfectly enough chairs for the 4 of you and the Warden to sit, but you kind of get the idea that this table would perfectly sit any amount of people that the Warden may need to sit with, as this kind of seems like a sitting room or a meeting room of some sort. A half-eaten tea arrangement with different sweets, savories, and fresh fruit options have been picked at by the group. The teapot that seems to never empty has filled your cups many times over the course of the discussion that is now wrapping up with the Warden. The Warden, as you can see pictured, because the lovely Lonnie made a little depiction of what she looks like, and I loved it too much to not show everyone.
So hot.
She is. She kind of sets her teacup down on its saucer with a gentle look of contentment on her face. And she kind of starts speaking. "As repayment for helping me with the hag, I will create for you, within my domain here in the Feywild, a home of sorts. A place with room for each of you, where you can find rest. You will need plenty of rest between your travels." And you all know that the travels that she's kind of referring to are the second aspect of the conversation that you've just had that turned a celebratory dinner into an hours-long conversation. The Warden asked the group if you wanted to stay together and if you wanted to continue to help the Warden and people like the Warden. Because the Warden wasn't the only one of her kind, wasn't the only one that was protecting the connection between the different planes. There were more like her, more Wardens across the different planes. The Material Plane, the Shadowfell, the Nine Hells, and even the Abyss and the Astral Plane. There were happenings across the planes that threatened the delicate balance, and having a capable team to send out when these happenings occur would be a huge asset for her. And this deal also allows for any member of the party to join a mission, stay back at the home base, or return to their life on the Material Plane, or whatever plane they, kind of come from. The Warden kind of continues. "You can teleport back to your home at any point, but I can only teleport you to certain places. So if you teleport home, you may not be able to teleport back exactly where you were. You can teleport back to your home via these talismans." And she kind of hands out different pieces to each of you. For Althea, she had kind of asked earlier before this dinner if they could take your shield. And it took a bit of convincing for you to give it up. Obviously, I know you.
I was about to say.
But it was strange because she was kind of the only one that really asked any of you to take one of your things. But she kind of does present you with your shield back the same exact way that it was. But there is a small addition to the details of the design that's on the front of your shield. It's just a small, almost silver emblem of a gate. For Poe, she
Ooh.
hands for Poe, she hands you a journal, on the front of which there's like a small metal seal of a gate on the latch that keeps it closed. The journal is kind of like worn and leathered. It's very, I would say, very Poe. And she kind of gives it to you with the intention of you using it for your writings and your poetry. But also, you can use this as well to get home whenever you need to.
Amazing.
And then she has, lastly, a pair of signet rings. There is the same symbol of a gate mirrored on each of them, and she hands one to Manaaki and one to Boston.
Brilliant.
Thanks.
Brilliant.
Does it actually fit his hands though? Cause he a big boy.
When you take it, it does seem a bit too small, but as you kind of like try to put it on one of your fingers, like you're laughably like, this is never gonna fit. It does kind of like perfectly grow to fit exactly around your finger.
And then he's like, oh shit, I shouldn't have put it on my pink finger. Oh no. Okay. Because he was like, that's gonna be the best chance of success, and I was just on there. It's like, okay.
Manaaki's gonna slide it onto his middle finger on the correct hand, but he just forgot what the wedding finger is. So it's because he's 8 intelligence. So he thought that he was being slick, but he was being wrong.
I love that. Boston, can you just for kicks, just give me a quick insight check?
Oh, yes, I can. Does it actually show up is the question. It's a 5.
It's a 5. You're too busy trying to get that ring to fit on your finger to notice anything that Manaaki's doing with his ring, unfortunately.
Nice.
I love
Also,
that.
have you started the campaign, Lonnie, for your roll log?
So I have, however, I think it's because my internet died, so I'm gonna just restart the app. But I can prove that it was a 5.
I trust
okay. I
Boston is just
thought that in
notoriously
the
bad at
future.
insight. Yeah, good
No,
to know.
I believe that.
Alright, I'm just
That's
gonna
so
do
Thank you,
a
Cass.
random, like, I'm just gonna do a random
You would do
check
like a
to-
test roll?
Yeah, I'll do sleight of hand to
Ooh.
see if it actually works.
I did a test roll. I think it worked.
Yeah,
Oh,
yours
maybe it didn't.
works. There we go.
Yeah.
Sleight
Okay,
of
good.
hand. Just
Love.
just fighting.
Oh,
You
you're
see me like roll twice from yesterday because I was in the I was trying to understand how one of my rolls would work. I was like, what's
Who
this?
were
And
you
then intimidation
intimidating?
check. I was like, oh, I see. Oh no, so there was a few things that I forgot to actually make sure that I had it filled out in my features and traits. And one of them was my proficiencies. And so I didn't have any proficiencies like added on. So I put in intimidation and athletics, and I was like, why didn't I do this before? It would have helped me so much when I attempted to scream at Poe for to jump into the portal. So that didn't work. Yeah.
Lord. Well, perfect. Okay, great. Wonderful. Cool. Let me. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, you kind of get all those items. She kind of sits back down and she kind of continues. Whenever you are ready, I have the keeper of your home ready to give you a tour. Say the word, and I will snap my fingers and send you there. Details of your next mission will be waiting there for you as well. For now, I have what should be a relatively quick, but still extremely important task for you on the material plane. Take the night to settle into your home, and in the morning, you can set out. Anything you want to ask me before I send you home? She kind of looks at all of you expectantly.
How are you feeling? After what happened?
Oh, how am I feeling?
Yeah.
Um, Nothing like that has ever happened before to me. Well, recently. Um, and I'm feeling a little bit more protective of myself and my domain than I normally would. And I am feeling very lucky to have the four of you to keep me and what I protect safe. So thank you.
The least I can
And
do.
thank you for this
Oh.
ring. And then I just kind of walk off.
Oh, you're welcome. So how are you feeling, Boston? Are you doing okay?
Yeah, they've got some really good friends here. Love it. Like, it's nice to be among people again, not just plants.
Yes, I mean
No.
plants are wonderful.
Plants are wonderful, but the conversations tend to just be about the weather. And like,
Yeah.
there's only so many things I can say about the weather, you know?
Absolutely.
Kind of,
Soil
yeah.
quality. It's not that
Oh.
interesting.
Yeah. How
I'm-
many conversations about soil quality can you have?
Right? Like acidity
me.
and all. Oh. It all flies right above my head, which is impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and
No.
I'm good. Thank you for asking.
Good.
Warden.
Of course. Oh, yes. Well, I will hopefully see you all soon. Word. But if I don't see you before you head off, good luck and thank you. And don't forget to get a good night's sleep tonight before you head off. Of course.
Yay!
All right, perfect.
I love long rest. Can
Anything
you
else
explain
before
to
she
us? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, anything else before she sends you off to your home?
No, just
No.
I'm good.
Okay, perfect.
Don't think so.
She kind of walks over to Boston, gives Boston just a little like touch on on his chin, you know. And then
Favoritism.
well, duh.
It's
And
only my
then
warlock patron.
she turns to the rest of you and just kind of snaps her fingers. And then, yeah, with a gust of wind that kind of carries this gorgeously colored fall leaves and a glimmer of golden magic, you're swept away. And once you kind of land, before you is an iron gate wrapped with gorgeously green and golden vines. And it automatically kind of opens as you stand before it to reveal a garden with a winding cobblestone path. It's gorgeous. It kind of spans out for a bit. You can't really see where the garden kind of ends, or any sign of any home or anything like that. But as you kind of step through the gate, I'll just have everybody give me a quick little perception check.
Wonderfully perfect average 10.
We love a 10.
Oh shit! I got a
Oh
21.
damn.
Pop off.
I'm so perceptive.
Manaki's
Can you remind me how to do this
perceiving.
again? I'm sorry. I'm kind of rusty.
Second
If
page
I have
under
it-
skills.
Oh, yeah.
Second page.
But not
And if I
The
have
passive one, right?
advantage on a perception check, do I get to roll twice?
Yes.
Mm.
Oh.
Oh my god!
Oh, with the nat 20. I love that for you.
Let's go.
You are so
Althea, what do
perceiving.
your elf eye see?
I am perceiving
Um,
something.
Okay, perfect. Ooh, Pope, I saw your check.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh,
Wonderful. So most of you do kind of I would say everybody but Boston. Boston, you're kind of just taken aback by the gorgeous like plant life that is here. You're so excited. This is your home. She has called this your home multiple times over the past, hours long conversation where you've come to this conclusion that this would be your prize for your, thing that you did for her. And already, just like the moment you step down, Boston, you are just overwhelmed with how excited you are at just the plant life that's here. You were just talking about how little conversation plants can give you, and now you're like, Just kidding. I'm really excited to talk to all of these plants.
Yeah, like I gotta remember, like I gotta be grateful, for all the good conversations we've had, and like there's so many new people here. Plants, like oh, it's great. Life is great.
Absolutely, yes. And Poe, you kind of through the branches, you're very much more looking out for this home, this house that you assume is probably somewhere in this garden deep down, and you do kind of through the branches do kind of get the idea that there is some form of structure back there that you can't quite see. But Manaaki and Althea, your eyes very quickly, and you kind of hear it too before you see it. You kind of see this black cat up in the branches of one of the trees, and he kind of jumps down the branches of a knotted, aged willow tree, and it's like this long, black-haired cat. But Althea, you catch it first, and the rest of you catch it over time as this cat approaches you. But the cat is entirely made up of these dark-colored flames. There is no fur, there is no body. It's all made up of these black flames. His burning orange eyes kind of blink up at you as he finally lands on the ground and sits right in front of you. He says,
"Hello, friends. Welcome to our home. Well, your home, but I also live here, so it's also my home. Hi.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
I was told your names, but I have to say I forgot. So can you? I'm so
Happens
sorry.
to
Can you
all
tell
the
me?
time.
Oh, thanks.
So cute. I'm like,
Um,
oh, nice to meet you, Mr. Cat. Mrs.
Yeah, that
Cat.
works. I don't really have a name, so you can name me
Oh,
whatever
Mr.
you.
Cat.
That's great.
I'm Manaaki. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, you look very strong.
I kind of like turn around in a circle, and I'm just like, oh, he recognizes true power. What a smart cat. I kind of like mutter it to myself.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, Manaaki. He looks up at the rest of you.
I'll probably like throw my cape bashfully and be like, Althea.
Oh, that's a beautiful name. Very elegant. Yes. Okay, Althea. Yes, I'm gonna remember that now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm-
Looks up at Boston.
I'm gonna make it easy. You can call me Boston.
Oh, okay, Boston. You remind me of well, I think you call her the Warden.
Yes.
Yes.
We both wear green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of smell like her a little.
I like green.
It's a good color. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Okay,
Yeah.
Boston. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And you, and he kind of looks up at Poe.
Poe looks down at the cat and just like points at it and says cat, and then points at himself and says Raven, and then says Poe.
Raven Poe.
This is Poe. You're not gonna eat him,
Raven
right?
Poe.
I think we're gonna be really good friends.
Okay, cool.
Okay, well, you guys can follow me. And he turns around and just starts taking off down like this cobblestone path.
I immediately keep pace with him.
Yes, just
Perfect.
start running.
Amazing. As you follow the black cat through the garden, faint lightning bugs kind of light the path as it is kind of starting to turn dark outside. It is kind of like a sunset-esque kind of lighting. You see that the paths branch off into other paths further into the garden that take through like small creeks, meadows of flowers, and just gorgeous Feywild flora in general. And as you approach the house, you see a grand multi-story mansion. The house is a blend of intricate architectural details with pointed gables, towering spires, and a series of large windows. And then there is like a door. It's all adorned with ornamental woodwork. There's lace gold trim, scallop edges, and just these swirling patterns of like leaves and just gold inlays across the entire building. And there also is just like this big, wide, inviting porch that kind of wraps around the front of the house. There's like steep sloping roofs made of golden shingles. They kind of rise to create a dramatic silhouette against this, gorgeous sunset that's happening across the sky. You realize that there are balconies that jut from the upper floors that kind of give views over like the gardens that you've just walked through. And you do kind of notice that many of the windows are kind of stained glass windows with like rich jewel tones. And the cat just hops up, doesn't even take the stairs, just kind of a railing, hops up on another railing, and then jumps down to in front of the front door. And you do realize as you approach that front door that it is a very extra tall front door. Like definitely much, much taller than even Manaaki in Boston. Just room for growth, just depending on who would potentially live here in the future.
And
Wow.
Boston
This
just
is
kind of
beautiful.
like eyes
The cat just
the height.
Sorry,
of the...
go ahead.
Yeah, no, just Boston is testing the height of the door because he's wary.
Yes, it's a good 2 feet even taller than you. It's a very tall front door. You are set. You won't even have to duck even a little bit. The whole time you're here. This house was made specifically for the tall boys that are coming to live here. Perfect. And the black cat just kind of walks through the front door, just doesn't even open. But you do kind of hear on the other side, like, just like waiting for you to open the door yourselves and come through.
I
Well, who's
grab
gonna open it?
the handle and I attempt to open the door.
Absolutely. Perfect. And it just opens easily right away into just like this very gorgeous front room that there's like all these beautiful lights being cast across this foyer with all of these stained glass windows. And everything is very spacious and grand. There's high ceilings, elaborate moldings, and intricate wallpaper designs that kind of make everything seem very like luxurious, but also like there is kind of that like air of a house that's old and has like character and mystery about it, if that makes any sense. It does kind of give very like, if we were talking about like our type of architecture, like Korean-esque in architecture. But yeah, there, as you kind of continue, the cat takes you on a tour, various different rooms that we don't have to go into huge detail about. But each of these rooms that he takes you through is equipped with everything that you could imagine, both mundane and mildly magical. Not anything crazy, but for example, there's like plates that keep your food warm. You know what I'm saying?
Cass, real quick, can you
There's
check your
yeah.
DMs?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's yeah. Yeah. I got you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So Lonnie had attempted it. Yeah.
Perfect. Sorry. Great. There's like plates that keep your food warm. There's like a fireplace that doesn't ever need to be kept. Like there's always a fire roaring in there that doesn't need to be like cleaned or anything. You kind of get taken through a library and the cat shows you how if you just say a book out loud, like a book will come and like land in your hand. Whatever book you want, you don't have to look for it or anything like that. The rooms that you're kind of taken through include like a kitchen, a dining room, a library, various offices and living rooms. There's even like a greenhouse in the backyard. But finally, the black cat kind of like leads you upstairs and mentions that like now they're going to take you to each of your specific rooms that were made specifically for each of you. He kind of stops first and looks up at Poe. And first there is just like a very plain wooden door. it seems almost a bit like just like shabby almost. And just like a plain little brass handle. And he kind of looks up at Poe expectantly and says, you can go in.
Hmm. I think Poe's a little uneasy. Can he ask him a question?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Well, obviously, since Poe is kind of bad with speaking, he kind of just stares at the door, looks at it, and says, "Methought the air grew denser." And like that's all he can say.
The cat kind of like he kind of like nods.
Can Manaaki try and like interpret that for them?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me like
Alright.
an insight check.
All right. Okay. Okay. This is so great. This is so great. Inside. There we go. Oh, that's not bad. I got a 15.
Poe, what
Do you want to message me, Lay? Tell me what that meant,
you
and
can
I can
just
try
like
and interpret it.
you can
Yeah, I
you could
can
just
do
say like what you think Manaaki would get from a 15. I'm happy either
I
way.
think she would roughly understand that doesn't exactly know what I think is behind the door, but I think she understands that I'm a little bit like cautious about opening doors that cats are telling me to open.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Love that. Manaki's gonna kind of step in between Poe and Mr. Cat and be
Mhm.
like, I don't know if you could tell, and maybe I'm not the best to be able to tell you this, but this is a bird, just in case you haven't noticed, and you are a cat. So, can you tell our bird if behind this door there's going to be more cats that won't be as friendly as you?
I
I
promise.
think that's what you mean. Okay, he promised you. He promised.
I
Think it's me.
promise that although I look like a cat, I am in fact a fey being that is not
Oh,
a cat. So, it makes you as a bird person feel any better about me as a non-cat being. Hopefully that makes you trust me just a little bit more. Maybe.
Poe just kind of raises his eyebrows and then approaches the door. Very, very slowly and tentatively.
Absolutely. And you all kind of watch this slow motion moment of Poe like going to the door and like opening it really slowly. Um and as like the door kind of opens, you're just kind of like hit with this smell of like old books and like musky incense. And you kind of space and there are just like it's full of like clutter, but in like the most beautiful way. The walls are adorned with shelves filled with scrolls, leather-bound books, parchment, any kind of like book that you could ever imagine, or anything that anything could even be written on. Even stone slabs are a part of the books and writings that are in the shelves that make up the walls. Some of the scrolls are framed in kind of intricate wooden frames. The edges are carved with delicate patterns of dark purple colored quills and ink pots and musical notes, and those type of things are kind of featured also across the entire room. And then above the shelves, there's kind of like this ivy with these small blossoms that grow, and their vines wrap around these books and poetry that make up these shelves. When you kind of enter the room a bit tentatively, you do kind of to one side realize that there is a small kitchenette. Nothing like the intricate large kitchen of the first floor, but one that's just big enough for Poe. Cupboards overflowing with ingredients and jars overflowing with strong and various teas and spices. A large stew pot kind of sits almost expectantly on the stove, ready for anything that Poe would ever want to make there. You also see that the furniture is like an upholstered chair with purple cushions that sits by a window that kind of overlooks the gardens that were mentioned before. There's a bit of a lumpy bed tucked away in a corner, covered with papers and books. And it's kind of as though like sleep would be an afterthought in this space. Hanging from the ceilings are various like wind chimes, from bone and glass and feathers that kind of just like sway in a breeze. Doesn't really make sense since you're in a room that doesn't have any open windows or any, things like that would make that happen, but it does kind of give some kind of magical sense to the room. And your kind of Poe's general obsession with poetry is reflected in the room, but it's also just reflected in the layout. It's kind of chaotic and harmonious, where there's different parts of the room that tell different stories about what you could do there. And it's a very like inspirational room, and there is kind of like this low lighting that kind of just like sets a mood of like peace and inspiration for whatever Poe would want to be doing there. And that's what you see when you walk inside, Poe.
Also, real quick, check your DMs. But I think Poe is excited by this. Obviously, he's excited to the point where he doesn't really put it into words. He just kind of stands in the doorway, just like, I don't know, just hands sprawled out, just like, what am I looking at? And he's like just frozen in complete like happiness and joy at it being exactly what he wanted.
Aww.
And then
Aw.
I think, but also because he is a paladin, and he still has some sense on him. He's going to just double check that there's like, nothing else lurking in the corner. And besides
Yeah.
that, do I just
Yeah.
click
You
this?
yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, you activate your divine sense. It's just like a thing that you kind of do mentally in your head. You activate your divine sense, kind of just like soft, like purple glow pops over Poe's eyes just for a moment. Only a few of you notice. And Poe, there's nothing. No, I think it's. Let me see. We got. You can sense celestial, fiend, or undead. There are none of those within the 60 feet that you can sense with that divine sense. So you don't see anything dangerous of that nature within your room or within anywhere near you.
Okay. So then Poe just kind of takes a few cautious steps inside, and I think he's a little hungry, so like the first thing he's gonna do is like go check out the kitchen.
Perfect. Absolutely. And as you kind of go and start exploring the kitchen, where there's just everything that you could ever imagine, there's even like a box that magically stays cold so you can keep things a bit longer and have them stay fresher. And as you're kind of exploring that, the cat kind of like nods happily and rubs up against Althea and kind of like says, "Come along now," and kind of walks down the hall.
Do we also
Althea's
follow
like-
along, or?
You can all, I would say that he kind of like gestures to Boston and Manaaki and Althea. And if Poe wants to stay and kind of cook for a little bit, that's completely fine. You all are just kind of like getting the sense of rooms, and then you'll all meet up if you want to before bed to discuss anything you want to before you guys go off to bed. So it's not like if you leave each other now, you're leaving each other for the rest of the night.
Okay. I'm gonna like
I think-
stay back
yeah.
just a moment, and I'm going to like kind of duck my head into Poe's room and be like, if you need any help, just chirp at me and I'll come running. And then I like run back after Mr. Cat
Aw.
and the others.
So cute. I love
Yeah,
that.
Poe would
Perfect.
start cooking.
Perfect.
Yeah, Boston
Poe
just
starts
sees
cooking
nothing
away.
wrong here. Like, he's just like, yeah, we live here. So he's just
Yep.
walking along.
Perfect.
Yeah, cool.
I love this. Wonderful. And you're kind of taking down the hallway. You do pass other doors, but he doesn't stop at any of them. But he does kind of come finally to a door. It's made of just black wood with white detail, made out of wood as well, with just a silver handle. It's very like a very beautiful door. That's all I'll say. And he kind of chirps up at Althea. Well, one's for you.
Althea's like trying to play it super calm, super cool, but she's like tripping over herself trying to open the door.
Yeah, absolutely. Sick. Yeah, you definitely go like tuck a piece of hair behind your ear, reach for the door, and like you definitely like push a little too hard and trip your feet on the way inside. And as you kind of like open this door, it's just beautiful and exactly what Poe's room was for Poe. You step in and you're like, well, shit, this one's made for me. You just see like the walls are adorned with dark wrought iron sconces. The color scheme is striking. Black and white dominate the space with some deep crimson accents. A large, intricately carved wooden desk sits against one wall, cluttered with open books, scrolls, and vials, filled with strange, unidentifiable liquids. Yet, despite the apparent disorder that is across the entire room, everything also has its place. The books are stacked in deliberate towers, the potions are arranged by color and size, and even the ink pots are positioned with a strange precision. You also see a heavy black velvet drape that's partially drawn across a tall, very, very tall window. The faintest glimpse of light kind of filtering through the stained glass that gives the room kind of this like ethereal glow. On one side of the room, a small tea station occupies a corner. A tarnished silver teapot rests atop a heavy black iron stove with a collection of delicate porcelain cups in varying states of use scattered. The table it sits on is a patchwork, kind of lavender and smoke, just kind of blend with tea as you kind of step into the space and take it all in. In the far corner, the gothic kind of centerpiece room is just like this very brooding gargoyle statue perched on a stone pedestal. Its stone eyes seem to almost glimmer in the candlelight that's placed around the room. Kind of looks like he's watching over the space. And above it, an intricately carved shelf kind of holds various relics and icons of different divine gods and goddesses. And finally, there's a canopied bed on the far side of the room. Stark white sheets and blankets against the obsidian wood that makes up the bed frame. And finally, there's just like this veil of black lace that canopies down to the floor, just showing the bed's contents through the fabric. And at the bed, an empty display stand for an oversized shield. And that's what you see.
Damn. Althea is pinching herself, wondering if she's dreaming. This is like she is like running around the room, looking and touching everything, going to the gargoyle, climbing on top, looking around, trying to get a vantage point at the top of the room, before finally jumping on the bed. Jumping on the bed and just staring up at the ceiling before honestly falling asleep in less than 1 minute.
There's like this like when a dog has like the zoomies moment, like you're just like running around the room, like taking in everything, like little by little, like bit by bit, so excited. And then you up on the bed, and then you just are there.
Like
and
a
the black
ghost,
cat
like-
goes, yeah. The black cat kind of just nods, rubs against Manaaki, and kind of heads out.
Aw, that's so
Zoomies
cute.
in bed.
Boston did see all
Love
those
that.
zoomies, by the way, and he will remember. Hopefully. And he
I'm just gonna
trots
be like,
along.
bye,
Yeah.
Althea.
Good night.
Have fun.
And I'm like, and he did. Sound effect.
Amazing.
Brilliant.
Yay. Okay, perfect. And as Manaaki and Boston followed the cat again, it's just a bit down the hallway. The cat stops in front of a stone door. The door frame is carved with skulls and angular designs, while the door itself resembles just a stone slab. The only notable detail is the handle made of bone and a series of symbols that spell out Manaaki in Elvish. That's what you see.
Love that. All right, I'm gonna like push open the door and immediately just take a step in.
You push open the door and realize that it takes some considerable amount of strength to open this door, as if it was, made with you in mind, obviously. And you kind of push this door, feeling very strong after you get it open. And you see
Constant reminders that I'm really strong is just great.
Yeah, it's really important. And once inside, you see just an intimately lit, large bedroom carved into a rocky cavern, despite that this is in an actual wooden home. The room's walls and ceilings are rough-hewn rock, suggesting a natural cave setting, despite the fact that you just walked in through a Victorian-style mansion.
And this is on the second floor?
Yep, and this is on the second floor.
Love that.
When Boston walks in, Boston immediately is like, there is a lot of magic that went into making this room.
Like,
But Manaaki's like, whoa.
Whoa, this place is so freaky and so cool. I love it.
There are there's like a stone fireplace with a burning fire that's situated on one side of the room. It's also elaborately carved and has candles placed on the mantle. There are other small details such as small wooden chests and tables near the bed. There's candle holders and wall sconces that also kind of add to this very like ruggish kind of theme. The floor appears to be made of uneven stone tiles. There's the carved detail around the room involves skulls and harsher elements that resemble the details of Manaaki's armor as well. There is a sitting area near the fireplace with simple wooden chairs, a coffee table, and a small deep blue velvet couch that could comfortably seat just a couple of people. A circular opening in the ceiling lets in a soft, diffused light. It's a skylight that through an entire night sky can be seen. And near the skylight, an exit to a balcony, furnished and dimly lit by just a magically lit fireplace or fire pit. Sorry. And sitting on top of the mantle, directly in the center, you notice right away, Manaaki, your eyes go straight to it. There's a highly detailed, dark brown, polished wooden box. The box is rectangular with a slight curved shape. It rests on 4 brass feet shaped like stylized leaves. The top of the box is a hinged lid with a shell-shaped decorative ornament on top. The entire surface of the box is heavily carved with intricate relief. These carvings feature stylized leaves, shell motifs, floral and classical patterns, but most importantly, carvings of nuts. They are deep and create a significant textural interest to the overall box kind of looks like. And the detail is so fine that you can see that there's an incredible amount of handcraft when creating this specific box for you on the mantle. There's also a bed, but it does kind of just seem like a stone slab that like a very like comfy, fluffy mattress was thrown across. There's some pillows, and then there's also like an animal hide as like a comforter as well.
Oh, okay. All right. Immediately, so like both Boston and I are in this room now.
Boston is kind of just like
Yeah,
respectfully staying like in the doorway, like looking around, just like, okay, that's interesting.
Couple steps
like,
in. You're a
that's
couple
magic.
steps in, Boston. So I'm gonna glance over at this ornate box that I've seen probably a million times in my life before and be like, oh my god, they even got this one in. And I'm gonna be like, I have to show my nut collection off later on at dinner. And then immediately I kick off my shoes, and I'm fully aware that Boston's like right behind me, but I'm just gonna be so drawn to the bed that I just start like unclothing my armor. I kind of dump it on the ground. I take off my shirt. I only have my pants on, and it's just like you just see like a bunch of scars on my back, and I'm just like, I walk over to the bed, and then I turn back and I'm like, oh, sorry, I didn't see you there.
Sorry.
And then
My bad. I should
just
have been
gonna-
here.
and then I'm just gonna like flump myself on the bed, and just immediately, because I was down to like 30 hit points. I don't know if anyone remembers that. I lost 2/3 of my health points. Yep, from the previous fight. So I immediately
30 hit
conk out.
points is like close to what some of us have just on the regular, but
I'm aware
That's
of that.
okay. I'm
Manaaki's
sleeping.
still
I'm not-
super tired. I can hear the envy dripping from your voice.
I'm
Oh
dead.
goodness. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, you flop on the bed after taking off all of your armor in front of Boston.
Very
And
intentional.
Boston sees this, and like when you
Oh.
look back, he's just like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. This shouldn't. I'm so sorry." And like, I'll leave you to it, and you just like backs up.
Constitution check.
No,
Oh, man.
he genuinely feels rude right now. He's like, "Oh my god, I should have seen it. I'm so sorry."
And the black cat kind of follows you out as you're the first one to leave, and the door kind of heavily closes behind the two of you. And finally, he kind of looks up at the last person in the group and trots his way down the hallway.
I follow the cat.
Absolutely. You finally, Boston, you get to a door. It immediately reminds you of yourself. The door it's a gorgeous wooden door, and it's accented with intricate golden vines and leaves. In elvish golden lettering across the arch of the door frame is spelled Boston, intricately filigreed with flowers and other natural forms. The handle itself, a thornless rose with golden leaves, crafted masterfully from metal material. Its stem, the handle of the door. There's also, additionally, a tiny version of Boston's door, tucked just next to the bottom of Boston's door, that reads Sven in Sylvan, just above the arch of the door.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. We have ads,
Aw.
by the way, so before we open the door, I think
you need to do
I think the
ads.
ads are just perfectly timed, so we're gonna take 2 minutes at this point. So anyone in here, go have a pee, go get yourself a drink, make sure to stay awake. And we will pick it up right after the ad. So we'll be back in 2 minutes. Sorry to interrupt you there. I just don't want people to
No, you're
miss
fine.
this. So yeah, see you in a sec.